ladies and gentlemen. The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I am not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence in the response and dedication of our citizens whenever they are fully informed. I not only could not stifle controversy among your readers, I welcome it. This administration intends to be candid about its errors. For as a wise man once said, an error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. We intend to accept full responsibility for our errors, and we expect you to point them out when we miss them. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive. That is why the Athenian lawmaker Solon decreed it a crime for any citizen to shrink from controversy. And that is why our press was protected by the First Amendment, the only business in America specifically protected by the Constitution, not primarily to amuse and entertain, not to emphasize the trivial and the sentimental, not to simply give the public what it wants, but to inform, to arouse, to reflect, to state our dangers and our opportunities, to indicate our crises and our choices, to lead, mold, educate, and sometimes even anger public opinion. This means greater coverage and analysis of international news, for it is no longer far away and foreign, but close at hand and local. It means greater attention to improved understanding of the news, as well as improved transmission. And it means, finally, that government at all levels must meet its obligation to provide you with the fullest possible information outside the narrowest limits of national security. And so it is to the printing press, to the recorder of man's deeds, the keeper of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance, confident that with your help, man will be what he was born to be, free and independent.
E. Gray, Chapter 1. I should have never given that damn speech. I have given a lot of speeches throughout my life. I guess you would call it a gift. The ability to take a crowd of strangers and have them cling onto every word you say. Every word like it had a purpose and credibility behind every syllable. I was born with a silver tongue and a gift of gab. Any politician under the setting sun would give their right arm for such a talent. Oh, did I say a word that leaves a bad taste in your mouth? Dare I say it again as I stand alone in this bathroom holding my Johnson in my cold dead hand? A politician is a word that only the devil could stomach. I dare say that I have never met the devil, but I've come close, too close you might say. But that is a story for another day. Today and at this moment, I'm still introducing myself like I have anyone to talk to besides the white and red tile that align this bathroom. Politician wasn't such a bad word back in my day. A lot of people still believed in my purpose and dreams. A lot of people believed in many things. I had beliefs also, but my beliefs have been expunged years ago. But as you read this, you can be the judge of that. The judge and jury, you might say. I used to have the power back in my day. My days were numbered. I even knew this when I was a kid. I wasn't the healthiest child, but I had my fun. Lots and lots of fun. And maybe if you stick around a bit longer, I will tell you a few fun things. Fun is always better than horror. But that is my current state right now. I don't know what other words to say about the present tense. You probably saw the horror. Oh, I don't even know why I'm talking to myself, telling a tale from so long ago. The tale that got me here, you probably saw it the way I died. It's a macabre thing to watch someone die. But still people watch people die every day, and they don't do a damn thing about it. I heard that the innocence of the nation was lost the day I died. I don't know about that last statement, but I do know I miss those days. Peace, love, and all that bullshit. Oh, don't mind me. My attitude sometimes gets the best of me. I still believe in peace and love. I believe it still exists somewhere out there beyond these walls. Hopefully one day I can be free to walk away here from a dead man. Well, of course, it wasn't my plan to be a dead man. I had hopes and dreams, just like everyone else walking around. I once held the highest office in the land. Hell of a winter storm hit a day before I was supposed to be sworn in, but we managed to pull through and I took the oath. I once sat in a chair and talked to some of the most important people in the world, and I also talked to people that traveled around the world saving it, but their names would never be spoken at the dinner table. I did a lot back then, but now I can't even manage to take a normal piss like a human being anymore. I don't know what it feels like anymore. I told a little lie right there. You can laugh at that last statement, a politician telling a lie. That would never happen. Just lied again, but I promise to try my best not to do that so much from here on out. The little lie I told back there is about feeling human. Truth be told, I do sometimes feel human. It only happens every so often on cold wintry nights. Somewhere in this old carcass of a body, in whatever crevices there rests feelings. I must laugh to myself as I spin this tale. Not one drop of piss has dropped from my dead Johnson to the cold urinal beneath me. There is a flow I must warn you about before you proceed. Oh hell, I'll just let you see the reveal for yourself. It's better that way. Not a squirt from a dead man not wearing an overcoat. I yell at in an oversized bathroom just to hear the echo of my own voice. It is the only thing that I can do to alter the silence that would make any man or ghost insane. I like to make up little rhymes every now and then. I used to have a powerful voice. A voice that could make everyone in the room turn and listen. Now I sound like a 30-something-year-old who still lives in his mama's basement. But don't ask me how that works. I've learned not to question this new journey I'm on. I just go with the flow and let things happen. If you're wondering if I'm the only one here and I haunt this dwelling, the answer is no. There is another person that dwells here with me. I'm not his biggest fan, and if you asked him, he would tell you the same. He made me the way I am. Well, not exactly my current state of being a tired old ghost, but he did put a bullet in my head a long time ago. Don't lie, you probably saw the video. I heard some old man filmed it. Who would have thought a man with a name like Abraham would become so famous? I used to fall asleep drunk in a room that was named after a guy with the same name. Don't worry, you will hear all about the other guy that dwells here with me. He's an angry asshole, if you're wondering. I've been blabbing away, and I forgot to tell you all about this place I haunt. I refer to it as a dwelling, but it's basically a large upscale hotel plopped right in the middle of Colorado. I can tell you all this I can tell you all about it as this tale unfolds. I should know all about this place. I've been here for quite some time. I've read all about the hotel's history in the magazines that lay at the check-in desk. From what I gather, this is quite the happening spot when it opens. The staff shuts down the hotel each winter. It has been that way for close to 4 decades. I showed up here one day on a snowy night. It took me a while, but the human memories of my past came to me a couple nights after that. The last thought I remember having when I was alive was riding in a car next to my beautiful wife, waving to people that had gathered to wave and smile back. The smiles have probably faded since then. And there it is, a drop of blood. A drop of blood just landed on the urinal I have been standing in front of for what seems like an eternity. Believe me when I tell you, I know what an eternity feels like. Okay, maybe not an eternity, but something close. Another drop of blood falls. It's red in color and eerie all at the same time. I'm bleeding from my forehead again. The blood always flows when he's close. Call it a warning sign. A sign or a curse. I didn't ask for that warning sign, if you must know. The blood shows up when he does, and that's just the way it is. I once read that animals can tell when an earthquake is about to happen. Folks, I can tell you this much. The man that preys on me is much worse. I talk all these these ill words about a man that hasn't even appeared in this here tale yet. But he will. He always shows up and the blood always flows. I shouldn't be surprised by this, even though the sight of my own blood dripping from my head still does. Back in the day when my heart still beat proudly in my chest, he showed up and shot me from the window. He shot me from a window. He blew half my head away, and now you know just a little bit on why I think he's an asshole. He killed me back then, and even locked in this hell of a place, he still tries to kill me every time we meet. That asshole and his stupid little games, he likes to yell these weird words in Russian that I can barely make out and understand. Igray, he would yell. Igray, he would yell. He would yell all the time behind a wall of laughter as he would chase me around the hotel. For the longest time, I did not know the meaning of this word. It wasn't until I found a book of Russian translation amongst a pile of dusty books in the dark basement below. I almost laughed when I looked it up. The word that Mr. Crazy always yelled, Igray, was the word for Russian games. That's what it meant, games in Russian. All of this running around, and it was all a game to him, but not to me. But here I am playing this stupid game, never knowing when they're going to stop. I pray one day that I can leave this place, but for now the blood will continue to flow and flow. And I understand that his footsteps, I can hear them slowly. I can hear them off in the distance, hoping one day I can get out of here. Please, somebody help me.